Hey, what's up, everyone? What's going on? It's Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Colts fans, let's talk. Let's talk about the big story out of Indianapolis today. The Frank Reich era has officially come to an end in Indy. The coach was finally relieved of his duties. It's really not much of a surprise, right? He has been a dead man walking in Indianapolis for pretty much of the season, right? You know, people have been calling for his job. You've been hearing rumors about the Colts possibly moving on from him. Sure enough, the Colts have decided to go into a new direction without Frank Reich. From his questionable, wacky play calling, to the quarterback instability, to injuries that have piled up, he was on the hot seat. He was clearly on the hot seat. But what's more shocking is the guy that's going to replace him. The news is, a bit shocking to hear that Jeff Saturday is going to take over. And I know Jeff Saturday used to play for the Indianapolis Colts. He obviously has a great relationship with Jim Irsay and the people in the front office. But Jeff Saturday has zero coaching experience at the collegiate and the professional level. Let's see how this works out. He's going to take over as an interim head coach. But Frank Reich, man, it just didn't work out in the end. It's unfortunate that his run is coming to an end. It looked like it was going to work out at first, but this guy, couldn't come up with a decision on who would be his starting quarterback. And I mean, there was no quarterback that could stabilize the offense. He didn't have a quarterback that could stabilize the offense. Andrew Luck's career came to an end, rather quickly than most people thought it would. He decided to walk away in retirement. And you could blame the front office for that because the front office didn't build a wall in front of him. They didn't protect their quarterback. And he got tired, he got fed up, he decided to walk away from the game of football. And now you look years later and you see that the Colts are still having the same problems, that they can't find a consistent quarterback. That's been the problem since Andrew Luck has retired from the league. In Reich's tenure, which spanned 74 games, 77 including the playoffs, in 4.5 seasons in Indianapolis, the Colts had 7 starting quarterbacks. 7 starting quarterbacks. And then there was just a lot of head-scratching calls from Frank Reich, calls that just didn't make sense, calls that left you wondering what the heck he was doing. Why didn't you use Jonathan Taylor more consistently? Why would you abandon the running game when you had a power running back like Jonathan Taylor? You go back to last year and you see the Colts blow it on the final day of the season. You talk about an embarrassing collapse. They picked the wrong time to perform the choke job. That all happened under Frank Reich. And Frank Reich, fired the offensive coordinator earlier in the week. He was the fall guy in all of this. Frank Reich decided to make that move to try to save his coaching job. He clearly knew that his time was up, that his time was coming to an end. So he decided to fire his offensive coordinator to try to save his rear end. Turns out he gets fired days later. So Frank Reich is now out of a job as the Indianapolis Colts head coach. They will now embark on a new era. They will now hand over the playbook, hand over the headphones, and hand over the coaching duties to Jeff Saturday. He will now serve as an interim head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. Let's see how it all works out for the Indianapolis Colts, because This has not been a promising year for the Colts at all. It's been a disappointing year, which has led to the departure of Frank Reich. I'll talk to you guys later. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Take care, guys. I got to get out of here now. I got a show starting up in 5 minutes. You guys can stay right here and join me for that show. I will be co-hosting the show with my good friend, Chris Gonzalez. We will talk more about this and much more in 5 minutes on our show, Gunzo and the Judge Sports Talk. You guys don't want to miss. We got plenty for you. Talk to you guys then. See you guys soon.